Kindness Repaid, written by Shri Pradeep Kumar Basu, published in the year 2012. In the 1890s, the great Polish pianist and composer Ignacy Jan Paderewski, he born in 1860 and passed away in 1941, was on a concert tour of the United States. He played at the University of Stanford also. Unfortunately, the student in charge of organizing the function, due to lack of experience, did not advertise the show properly. Hence, enough tickets were not sold and there was a shortfall in collection. When Paderewski heard of this, he not only waived off his fee but wrote a check for the hall rent in the name of the student. Years rolled by. World War I devastated Poland. Paderewski, being a patriot to the core, had joined the political movement and ultimately became the Prime Minister of Poland. But when the war was over, he faced a huge problem. Poland had no resources to feed the population. If the government could not do something immediately, millions of Poles faced starvation. Paderewski approached the head of the US food program, Herbert Hoover, for help. Hoover acted fast in sending not only food but other essential items like clothes, shelter, etc. Millions of lives were saved. When Paderewski called on the US President to thank him, Hoover pointed out to him that he need not thank him. He was only repaying a kind act of Paderewski. Paderewski had obviously forgotten, but Hoover was the student who was saved by Paderewski's generosity 3 decades back. An act of kindness by a great pianist had saved his nation. Herbert Hoover later became President of the United States and served from 1929 to 1933. If we study our lives, we will find that an act of kindness, especially to a stranger, gives us a sense of joy. Many times, it also happens that we are the recipient of such acts of kindness from total strangers. No good deed is ever lost. One of my Bengali friend narrated to me an incident from his life which is a good example of the point I am making. He was staying at Delhi at the time. Because of family necessities, he had to look for a job immediately after graduation. Luckily, he got one in Punjab, but with a very short notice to join. He immediately took a train which dropped him in Patiala at around 2 o'clock at night. It was December, so it was terribly cold. He looked for a hotel. Ultimately, he found one which was quite expensive for his resources. Having no alternative, he decided to stay there. The next day, my friend took the company bus and went to join. The factory was far away from the city. In the evening, as advised by a colleague, he checked out of the hotel. He could not afford another day's bill and went to the station to deposit his luggage in the cloakroom. But then a hitch arose. The clerk asked him to produce the train ticket. The ticket he had already handed over to the ticket checker at the gate the previous night. He did not know what to do. All his pleading did not help. All along, a Sardarji was listening to him. He came forward and asked his name. When he told him, the Sardarji looked at his baggage. Luckily, my friend's name was written on the bedding. The Sardarji then somehow persuaded the railway clerk to keep the luggage. Not only that, he offered to give my friend on rent a room in his house the very next day. That night, my friend stayed with his colleague. The Sardarji was true to his word. Very next day, he turned up early morning, took my friend to his house and showed him the room. He offered it at a very nominal rent. My friend was overwhelmed by his generosity. The Sardarji said he need not thank him. He was only repaying the generosity a Bengali family had shown him by giving him and his family shelter in World War II in torn Rangoon, Myanmar, nearly 2 decades back. Thank you very much.